Step 4. Training. Training is the most important way to ensure the quality and success of an Aflatoun program. Teachers and facilitators need to know the content and child-centered way of learning. Both are equally important. A regional master trainer will train you and your team. Once you've gone through this, you need to decide how to train teachers or other trainers to start your program. Listen to how others are doing this.
Il faut dire, bon, dans un premier temps, moi-même je suis enseignante de formation, je ne suis pas en classe, mais je connaissais donc le milieu. Donc étant entendu que c'est un programme qu'on veut insérer, alors il fallait identifier et chercher à savoir qui peut accepter ce programme. Quel directeur d'école, par exemple, pourrait accepter ce programme. Donc c'est comme ça, même pas les directeurs, les inspecteurs, c'est-à-dire ceux qui forment les maîtres. Parce qu'il fallait apprendre aussi des gens qui sont au-dessus des enseignants. Donc c'est ça, ces gens que nous avons identifiés. Et ensemble, nous avons identifié les écoles et les directeurs qui pouvaient accepter, qui sont engagés, des gens engagés, motivés et qui vont accepter le programme. C'est comme ça que nous avons identifié 10 écoles, 13 écoles dans un premier temps. La première année de 2008 à 2009 et de 2009 à 2010 et 2010 à 2011, nous avons formé encore d'autres enseignants. Parce que la première étape, quand on a pris les 13 écoles, ça a fait tache d'huile. Il y a eu un impact, les enfants ont commencé, le changement de comportement des enfants a fait que, et les enfants même ont réclamé. Parce qu'il y avait des écoles voisines et ils ont dit, mais il faut faire amener le programme Aflatoun chez nous. Donc les enseignants eux-mêmes sont venus vers nous. Donc ce qui fait que de la rentrée académique 2010-2011, ce sont les enseignants eux-mêmes qui sont venus vers nous et qui ont demandé à ce qu'on les forme. Et donc ce qui fait qu'on a formé 84 enseignants. Donc les premiers même étaient là avec les nouveaux. Donc il y a eu un mélange de recyclage, de formation et d'échange d'expérience. Ça a été très riche. Et on est maintenant dans 27 écoles. Donc il faut tout faire pour réussir vraiment ce programme. C'est dans l'intérêt de tout le monde, de l'enfant, des parents, du pays. Ça rentre dans le développement même d'un pays. Et moi je pense que c'est cet engagement très fort que moi je vais demander que les nouveaux enseignants et qu'ils s'impliquent davantage. Parce que quand tu amènes le programme, toi-même tu ne t'impliques pas, ça ne marche pas. Et il faut innover aussi à chaque fois parce que Aflatoun est flexible, donc il nous donne, mais il y a ce que nous, à partir des difficultés que nous rencontrons, il faut trouver des solutions et puis avancer. Développer des initiatives. Nous avons développé beaucoup d'initiatives. Nous faisons de l'environnement, parce que nous sommes dans un pays sahélien. On fait l'environnement. Aujourd'hui, si vous arrivez dans les écoles Aflatoun, les enfants ont planté des arbres. Chaque enfant a son arbre.
The first step that we usually do is we coordinate with the division superintendent of the Department of Education in a certain province, and then if we get her support or his support for the program, so she or he is the one who promotes Aflatoun in the different schools. So upon that approval, we kind of organize the training. So with me and some other NATCO staff who was also trained with the Aflatoun goes to the area, and we usually have 6 schools represented by 6 teachers per school, and normally we have around 30 teachers for the training. Okay. During the master's training, we usually ask the partners to give us a copy of the CVs of the participants and more or less their background, so that it will be easier for us to also prepare the materials and the program based on the understanding and the capacity of our participants. Yeah, like for example, if our participants are more exposed to social issues, and we don't really dwell much on that, but rather we focused on the financial side of the program, the part where they are not really familiar with. And of course, if our participants are financial people who are very much involved and worked with the banks or with the cooperatives. So we try to also tone down a bit on the financial side because they're more adept to that, and we focus more on the social side about rights and responsibilities, about other core elements of Aflatoun like personal understanding and exploration, and the UNCRC, UN Convention on the Rights of a Child, and all that. Okay. But we are a bit challenged with the financial part, the financial education part, because in the Philippines, I think Filipinos are one of the races in the world with the lowest savings culture, and it's a bit of a challenge in how to change the mindset of these teachers, and how to teach children about money when they have no allowance at all, when these children goes to school without any money, and how can they save without money. I think what we usually do at first is to sort of conscientization process. So we introduce the program, and we let them understand about the value of Aflatoun, and that this program is not only helping the children but also the teachers, because they will be role models. They will be teaching about financial education, so there is a need for them to also have that values in them about the habit of saving, so that it will be more effective, more more validating if they also practice savings themselves. So these teachers usually became members also of the cooperative. So they came home feeling hopeful, knowing that even if they are already mature individuals or old people, they're old, they can actually start saving, and it's not too late for everyone to practice that kind of habit. And how beautiful it would be if they would teach that kind of values also to young children while they're still young. And it would also help if you have a team. Like myself, I am not a teacher, I am not an educator, but I have with me a co-facilitator, a co-trainer, is a professor, and that he is taking the educational part, I mean the theoretical part of the program, and I am more on the practical side. So it would be good if you have a team to help you out in the process, so that the discussion will be more balanced, and that the teacher can also enjoy and relate more to the learning experience.
Okay.
Amira, you're one of our more experienced trainers. I wonder if you could tell us, what do you think are the main objectives of our 3 or 4 day teacher training workshop?
The main objectives of the training itself, let's say it's first of all giving an overview of the program to the teachers itself, like what is Aflatoun itself, what is where is implemented, how many countries. So it's a kind of general information about Aflatoun, because it's important, especially in new let's say areas, the people that come in need to have a general overview for what is about let's say Aflatoun. Then let's say another objective of the training is let's say first of all making teachers trying to see another new approach, like in each activity to put the child in the center of the activity, because it's a basic thing that in each activity, for each of the components that the Aflatoun program has, is child participatory, the focus. So means the child is in the center of the activities. And then by going with teachers, exploring each of the components, the 5 components of the Aflatoun, it's, let's say, providing to them enough experience, and as well trying in a, let's say, a friendly environment through mock lessons to do it between themselves, how they can improve the teaching to make it more fun for children, and to transfer this new knowledge about self-confidence, about rights and responsibilities, saving and budgeting, planning, and enterprises.
During the teacher training workshop, Amira, we provide teachers with 5 or 6 opportunities in which to do a mock teaching session so that we can give them constructive feedback. And you were describing how in the first of those mock teaching sessions they really don't demonstrate any ability or awareness of child-centered methodologies. How might the final teaching training session look? How would you gauge that the teachers had made progress?
Okay, if in the first one is so, let's say, empty, that let's say you don't feel anything within the lesson they provide, in the end they try to use every single detail that is in the room, cups, bottles, whatever it is in the room, lamps, I don't know, notebooks, pens, whatever they find there, and try to find every kind of resources that are there to make it as much as possible fun with them, to play and to less talk, and to include, let's say, the children or the other teachers. If in the first case, when in the beginning, it is the one who play the role of teacher, just talk and talk and talk, and we all listening, in the end, the teacher, let's say, talk 10%, is more inviting, and they call the names of the, let's say, of the group to come in the lessons.
Okay, and what might be some changes you noticed in the behaviour of children in the first practice lesson towards the way children are behaving in the final teaching practice?
Of course, more happy, more interactive, and again, more willing to stay, not sleepy. Let's say they feel every let's say single details of them, or like look, if you observe them, they start to feel a lesson with all the part of the body, with the eyes, with the, I mean, with the speaking, with the hearing, touching, because they touch material during this lesson. So they learn through all the senses, and that is something totally different from what happened in the beginning. That most of them, they are like sleeping, tired, and not very interested in what is happening.
How can be some of these teachers who are trainers of trainers who have excelled and who are wonderful examples come together and form a group that can actually take their knowledge and experience and put it in a way that can be used by others. And create, to me, is how can you create a network of professionals who are good trainers and make that like an association that provides guidelines and standards where they all as teachers can become stronger. In this case, the question is, what can school be? And what can school be? And they're saying possibilities, imperatives, and initiatives for schools in the 21st century. And what they've done is they compile all the experiences from teachers who are back and they wanted to show. And they include Aflatoun because they already went and visited teachers who were applying it. So it's great that Aflatoun is part now of all these different ways in which teachers can be great teachers. It's important also to have this strategy about how can I invite others who are closer to me, do it together, so I am not by myself, and we can inspire each other. And I think because there is a structure already, international, that can provide feedback and everything, it's not like two teachers on their own. It's like they can immediately feel I'm in the middle of nowhere in Mexico or Guatemala or El Salvador or other countries in Latin America or wherever, other parts of it. But they are part of something. And I think that that's one of the great things about Aflatoun. I can be in a mountain somewhere 10 hours from the capital, but I'm part of something. So in a way, I think that's very rewarding, and I think it would be great for children to say, well, I'm here, but I know there are other people in other part of the world that are also in this. So in a way, the numbers become relevant, because it's good to say, yes, we're 30 here, but we're part of 10 million.
what we do is when we bring any new activity, we make it palatable for them so that they like it, they love it, and they take it with them. So this kind of participatory, fun kind of training are very motivating. We always have more number of people who attend the training. We do not rely on the first few days of training. Always we follow through an ongoing technical support. We have trained people on the ground who work with about 10 to 15 schools on monthly basis. So there is a regular monitoring, coaching, providing support, and etc.